So, dating is hard, and it's especially hard for men in this day and age. It's just hard in general. It's very difficult, especially on a man perspective. And I just want to just talk about it. So, what makes dating hard today? So, as we all know, I know this is like uh, like a repeated thing, a repeated phrase, a repeated line, because of social media and dating apps. It's really gamified dating, right? It's turning dating into this game where you just swipe, 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 swipe. You're swiping your life away, and you have all these options, right? And then you match with somebody, go out on dates, stuff like that, yada yada yada, and then it's like that, So people have the illusion of options, all these options, and then we have social media, which Instagram is basically the only reason I have Instagram is just to lurk on other women's pages and stuff like that, and yeah, just lurk on girls' pages and stuff like that and shoot my shot. That's the only reason I have Instagram, because I really don't like Instagram at all, and to keep up with family members. I've never liked Instagram. I've never liked social media like that, and I just use it to really, or use it so maybe women can shoot their shot with me, which has happened before in the past. So as I'm not a big fan of social media in general. So I feel like people have the illusions of options. They have social media, and then you have the modern world, which is so like men are measured by how much money they make, their status, their looks, what they have, and sometimes I just feel like I feel like it's so much bullshit pressure for men to be perfect, basically, just to attract an average woman. And that's not fair. Like, why do we have to be perfect while women get to just look good, and that's it? That's all they bring to the table is looking good. And I just feel like that's such a big thing. So it's bullshit pressure for men to be perfect physically, financially. Like, we gotta be perfect basically just to attract an average woman, which I feel like is not fair. It's not fair. I feel like if we're both together, we got to be on the same level, financially, mentally, somewhat physically. I'm not a person that cares about body types, so I don't care about body types. I just feel like I'm not going to date somebody that look like a whale. But as far as me dating a bigger girl or a bigger person, I wouldn't mind as long as she had a nice shape, and she took care of herself. I would date a plus size woman if she just had a good shape and she took care of herself. Basically that. And sometimes when you talk about dating plus size people, especially when you plus size too, people want to give you basically shit. People plus size people that have I remember my mom's friend tried to set me up with this girl. She tried to set me up with two women. One when I was thin, one girl when I was thin, who was thin and attractive. Another, I wasn't thin, but I wasn't fat either. I was pretty fit. And then another, as I am now, which I was overweight, and plus, it took me a while to really get my appearance back in check, because I couldn't find nobody to really do my beard well for a while, until I got hooked up with this guy. I met at a barbershop. He my main barber now. She tried to hook me up with this very, very out of shape looking girl. The girl, it wasn't that she was overweight. The woman, my mom's friend tried to hook me up with, had no shape. She looked like a whale. And I'm just I know I'm overweight, but I'm damn, I can't even get a quality, good looking, plus size woman. I gotta get this fucking lady that looked like she got her own orbit, or something, or she got her own moon or something. You get what I'm saying? I'm just saying, and then it's all this pressure for men to be perfect in every aspect. And I feel like dating is so hard but just because of how things are now, most of the times where like most of the times the things that have worked for me when it comes to dating has always been online dating. Most of the times cold approaching doesn't work, even with friends or whatever. It is sometimes it does work, a lot of times it does work, but with friends, but sometimes it doesn't. Cold approaching people, women, has never worked for me, and I've been doing it all my life. It's never worked, and I don't do it as often as maybe some other men do. I just approach women I find attractive, and I try to get their number and start that communication and connection. I feel like it's never worked for me. The only thing that's ever worked has been online dating, and it sucks, but it's just a reality now. And I live in Miami, Miami, Florida, and it's one of the most superficial, like, just vapid places to ever live, to ever be in America. There's so much focus on what you can give somebody, right? There's so much focus on what you can provide instead of just that connection, that potential connection, and that connection and that bond, that mutual bond. Yeah. But other than that, I'll give some experiences too. So I've went on a couple of dates with women, far in between. I don't get dates that often, but one date I was like 17, and then it was just a horrible date. Like, the girl wasn't interested in me. She clearly wanted a black man. She wasn't interested in me. I mean, I'm black, but I'm mixed race. She wanted a black man, so she wasn't interested in me. The date didn't go well, and like I end up like I was graduating that year too, so I ended up asking her if she wanted to go to my prom with me. She lied and said she was busy or something. Like, she didn't want to be involved with me. And so I had another date too where I had met up with this girl, and in Miami, and we went on like a quick little date. I was just like, she told me she needed help with like stuff with like financial wise, like not financial wise, but she was risking going to jail because it was like some fees with her probation officer, stuff like that. You probably like, why the fuck are you talking to a woman like this? Yeah, I know. She was potentially risking going to jail because she had to pay her probation officer. And she told me she needed money, so I gave her some. It wasn't a lot, but I gave her some, and I tried to help her out just to show, hey, I'm decent, and I'm not some broke ass nigga, So I was just really trying to help her out, and like really help her just in a tough spot, But I don't know, that girl was just bad for me in all respects. She was bad for me. She was going through shit. She had no job. She had a mental disorder. Like, she was going through shit. And she ended up going to jail too at one point, and then coming out of jail, and then we communicated and stuff like that. I ended up ghosting her and unfollowing her on social media. Just, the girl wasn't good for me at all, and I'm glad I dodged that bullet, But I know, like, sometimes I wish I could be one of those dog ass niggas who would just tell a girl what they want to hear so they could just hit it and quit it, Sometimes you just gotta do that. Sometimes you just gotta do that as a guy. Just dine and dash. Sometimes you just got to do that as a guy. Like, I wish I was one of those guys, but so many times I'm just trying to build like a genuine connection with women, and I've never been the type to just try to hit it and quit it, but sometimes situations calls for that. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it 100. Sometimes situations call for that. I mean, you may be going through a dry spell and you just want to get off, and this girl is not a quality woman, and you just want to just hit it and quit it. But I'm just saying, like, sometimes, like, even that could be a risk, because what if you get this girl pregnant, and then you got to pay child support, and then you going through these battles of custody or whatever, like, and what if she's a fucking horrible baby mother, What if she just a little I'm not gonna say that. What if she's just a little trash, a trashy woman, like, and then you got to worry about your child's safety and all that, But because sometimes accidents happen, and sometimes women get pregnant on accident, you know. So it's just been that, you know. I've had a couple more dates, but I'm not gonna elaborate on it, you know. And then I've been through a lot of talking stages too, you know, and always just women like trying to scam me or something, asking for money, you know, stuff like that. Online dating is, I swear, I've had nothing but the worst luck with online dating, but somehow it still works out for me a little bit, you know. Sometimes it's pros and cons to it. Some of the luck I've had really pretty bad luck, but I've also had some good opportunities and good encounters with people, you know. And yeah, and I feel like a lot of women have like these unlimited options, right? They have so many options. They have guys approaching them in the streets, guys approaching them at the mall, guys approaching them everywhere they go, you know. They have guys get sliding in their DMs. Some of them have like, a lot of them too have like guys like professional athletes like hitting them up, you know, celebrities, you know. So they ego get up there, get inflated, and like, you know, it's like this internet stuff, it has a downfall to it, you know. And it's so sad, right? The average man is like, oh yeah, I gotta become rich to get me a wife, you know. I'm just like, yeah, become rich, but then what? She's still gonna like not really love you in the end, right? So it's just it's hard for us out here, man. It's hard, you know. And then like we have women that have all these options, and then like it's so like, and a lot of men are battling loneliness too. So like it's like all of this going on, right? And then sometimes I'll be out in the world and I'll be like, like, are these people a real good couple? Like, or are they just faking it? Or are they like, is it a transactional relationship? I be thinking that a lot when I be seeing couples in Miami, because I'm like, damn, like, am I like the only one that's not really dating like that? I see so many people, so many couples, and I'm just like, is it genuine? Is it transactional? Like, I have no clue. And then, yeah, at one point I used to get jealous, but I'm not really jealous anymore. I just don't care, you know. And like, yeah, that's just what I want to discuss, you know. I feel like at the end, like, a lot of guys are just looking for a true connection and possibly a wife, but like sometimes women don't want to be wifed up, you know, stuff like that, you know. Yeah, that's just what I want to discuss. Online dating has its pros and its cons, you know, but I feel like it gives people more access and leeway and opportunity, you know, because oftentimes in the real world, like, you approach somebody and they're just like, what? They're like, what? Like, who are you? You know, it's like that a lot of times in the real world. You approach somebody and they're like, why is he talking to me? Like, why is she talking to me? You know, and it's such a hit or miss. And I feel like if it wasn't for online dating, like, a lot of people would have no experience if it wasn't for online dating. Like, I'm just telling you, like, things have changed a lot for the better, but it's still cons to it, you know. Yeah, that's just what I wanted to talk about. Take care, y'all.